What up, what up, what up? What's going on, everyone? What's up?
Yo.
You acting weird. Yo, so I really just want to get into it. I'm so freaking, like, hyped, insulted.
Same.
Oh, man. So guys, we got a lot of things to get into. As always, I'm hyped to start recording this and to get into it all. We're going to start off with a topic that you wanted to talk about that I guess you saw on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter, but I didn't really look into it that much because I was on other things.
Yeah, so this is the part. We're not as heated about this part, to be clear. We'll get into it.
I may get heated. It sounds crazy.
Okay, so there's this thing going around Twitter called #MyWhitePrivilege, and I don't know like where it originated from or anything like that. I kind of just stumbled upon it on my, findings on Twitter. And I find it very interesting because people are all over the place with it. So I just wanted to get your take on it. So we have, we have this one person.
Oh, boy.
He kind of went through what his white privilege means. So he said, I've never felt the owner's eyes following me around a store when I was just buying a damn candy bar. #MyWhitePrivilege. I've never had to worry whether my name was going to hurt my chances of getting an interview. I've never had to wonder whether my ethnicity played a role in whether I got the job.
Oh, man. Okay. I'm liking this hashtag.
I never discovered someone I thought I knew was secretly hateful toward people like me.
Oh, wow.
All that stuff. And then there's people, though, on the other side of the spectrum.
Oh, shoot.
So there's one person, instead of tweeting #MyWhitePrivilege, I approached a group of African Americans and told them how awesome it is being white in hopes they would give me a standing ovation for how self-aware I am of my privilege.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
a joke.
I should be out of intensive care by next week.
Oh, my God.
And that was a white person. So then there's a lot of black people who are not so happy about it. Like this person, this whole hashtag is a mess with the little disgusted meme face. It's very interesting. This person said, no amount of tweets, statistics, or examples of #MyWhitePrivilege will get anyone unwilling to comprehend the complexity of their privilege. I'm not sure why anyone would ever choose to have a disproportionate experience in this world.
What? Wait, am I understanding that correctly?
I feel like they're trying to say, because this is a black female, so I feel like she's trying to say, this hashtag is not helpful.
It's not.
So I want your take, and then I'll go into it.
Yo, so I saw that yesterday. We saw us, and we came back, and I went on Twitter.
Ironically enough.
And then I saw it, and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. And then, I was watching videos, got stuck in that YouTube wormhole stuff, and I never got back to it. So I never knew what it was about. I just thought that was a weird, trending, topic or whatever that was happening on Twitter.
Kind of.
Man, I have a problem with it. It's cool to have the people that acknowledge that they've never had to go into a store and have anyone look at them in a weird way, or I've had I had
yesterday.
There's been times when I've gone to certain stores when it's owned by another minority. No offense to the Indians or whoever, where those people have been around me, and you can feel there was a dollar store that was in the mall that I don't think is there anymore, and I always felt like I was being watched there. Or just when you go to certain small little shops where it's not owned by some white guy, it's owned by some minority, no one that's black or Spanish, it's normally some other race, and then you just get that feeling that they're watching you. It's just
interesting.
Yo.
So you're saying other minorities, not white people?
Well, yeah, that's another issue that it happens in stories where it's owned by a white person, of course, or where it's majority white people, but it also happens in stores that are run by Asians or Indians or
I guess anyone besides your own race, it sounds like.
Yeah. I feel like black and Spanish people, we kind of commingle.
Okay.
So there's really not that issue. We understand each other. It's similar. When I'm hanging out with my friends, I have a mixed array of friends. And it's like, even being in high school, I chilled with the Spanish guys, I chilled with the black guys, I chilled with anyone. It was cool. It was whatever. So I was never treated any differently when it came to that. Like, I feel like whenever, like, our area or state, like, does, like, a Puerto Rican Day, like, festival thing.
Yeah.
And, like, yo, I feel, even though I'd stand out, I feel like I could fit in still. Like, go into that if I wanted to, and I wanted to hit up and get some Spanish food. It is what it is. But I don't know, there's just that thing. And, like, certain people are like, hey, I know I have privilege. I was watching a video, I think, on Vice or BuzzFeed that came out last week, where it was this black guy and this white guy, and they were talking about their issues with the police, or like their experiences. And like, this kid was saying how his experience where he was speeding. It was a white kid. He was speeding, and the cop pulled him over, and he wasn't thinking about, like, oh, what is the cop gonna do to me? He was thinking about, oh, what is his parents gonna do when they find out that he got a ticket for speeding? Like, well, this black guy's other experiences, like he was saying, yeah, he was saying his more so. He said he remembers a time in high school where, like, him and his friends were, like, walking to school or from school, something like that. And, like, there was, like, this cop that was that worked at the school that was like always bothered them, like, always saying, hey, you guys smell like weed or whatever, like. And it's just like, yo, like, what? And I've always been so standoffish when it came to the cops, but that's another story. Like, I can't mess with that. To touch on what you just brought up, we've been doing, like, a lot of wedding stuff, as you know, and we went to a ring shop, a couple ring shops yesterday. Jeweler shops. My bad. And we went to one. Wait, it was the first one we went to.
The first one, yeah.
We went there.
They were all, like, local, small, like, places. They weren't chains or anything.
So we went to this jeweler place, and as soon as we walked in, and it's like, I just had that feeling where it's like they saw me and you together. It
was also the smallest place. I don't know if that makes a difference.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It wouldn't matter whether it's a smaller place or bigger place. It still can happen.
Okay.
It's about the people that are there. The one thing I would like to point out is the people that were working there, because I didn't see a single young person. They were all older. Like
older white people.
Yeah, they all had to be, like, probably in their late 40s, 50s. Like, some guy said
middle age or up.
One guy said he was working at it since he was
52 years. Yeah, that guy, he was.
But like. I immediately got the vibes from that, and I walked out. When we got back to the car, I said, "Don't hold me to this. It could just be me." But I'm like, I really felt like they were uneasy with me going into the store, and you said you felt it too, and I'm like, this is what I go through. Like, I totally sense when I go into, like, a place where someone feels, like, off about me, and it's like I have to sit there and put on a fake face, and that's what's so draining, especially being on top of it, being an introvert, and I just want to chill. And, like, I just have a, as girls would say, a resting bitch face. I just have a plain face, just chilling. And it's just like, damn, like, I got to sit there and smile and put on a fake face for this person to be comfortable around me.
Right.
Because at first, as you notice, the older guy, he was a bit like, he felt like he didn't want to deal with us. And then, like, a little bit throughout the conversation, he started warming up a bit more. He gave us, like, free information about his personal life, and, like, after that it was all cool and all that stuff, but it's like, I hate that. I have to do that all the time when I go to events with you. I hate doing small talk, because I also feel like, yeah, everyone knows me, but it's just like, I just want to be chill. I'm just chill. Like, I'm just trying to chill.
And it was interesting because when we first walked into the shop, so there was, like, a middle-aged woman who was helping another probably middle-aged woman. That's when we first got the vibe, was like,
oh yeah,
we walked in, and this lady, she just kind of looked at us like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And so, like, and I'm like, because I walk in and I'm in first, and I just, like, looked at her and I looked back at him, and I was like, I kind of just saw this weirdness, like, going through the air. So, and then that's when the older man came out and offered to help us, but it was still kind of weird for the first 5 to 10 minutes.
I love it. And then, so we went to 2 other jewelry places.
Yeah.
And the second one we went to, immediately as soon as you walked in, everyone was like, hey, how you guys doing? This and that. And, like, I felt welcomed cool.
Which I knew they were going to be, because I've been there before.
But I didn't. I wasn't.
Right.
That's always my worry when we go into these places.
The other place I had only been to once, like years ago, and I dealt with someone completely different, and it was like a different experience.
Yo, this is gonna sound completely silly to you and to probably anyone that's not black or any minority, maybe. I can't really speak for you guys, but like we went jewelry shopping, of course, and I couldn't get the ring off my hands. So there's like this older lady that was helping us at the second jewelry place, and she was pleasant. She was great.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Can you help me?" And like she was totally fine with it. Like I always feel like with the older people, they're like hesitant to like touch you or all that stuff. It's like, dog, I'm a person just like you.
I didn't get that vibe.
No, I'm not saying from her. I'm saying she didn't give me that vibe, and that is great.
Yeah.
I like it there wasn't any. Like she treated me like a person.
Right.
That's what I'm trying. Like that, the whole everyone in that store treated me like a person.
I think, that's bad. So I think we're far past the whole like thinking, oh, this person is dirty kind of thing. I feel like that was back.
I don't think so.
Really? Because I feel like that was back in like the 50s and
I don't
stuff.
think so.
And since then, we've been educated that we are all just skin.
Nah, I don't think so at all. I don't think so. I still feel like people are still uncomfortable. Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, go backtracking to the hashtag at hand. You are not for it.
I'm not for it.
Okay.
I don't feel. Instead of putting a hashtag saying my white privilege and you acknowledging that you have privilege, like, yo, start a hashtag saying, like, we're all one or we're all the same or something. Like instead of separating it and
that could get tricky because I feel like people are going to start with all lives matter again, and then and then that becomes an issue.
Nonetheless, I mean, at the end of the day, if you see the movie Us, that's what I want. I want to be the underground. Spoilers. Let me say spoilers. If you haven't seen it or if you don't plan on seeing it, cool. But I want to be the underground people that are that rise up. Yeah, the tether that rise up are clones that like, hey, the people in America are dysfunctional and they're fighting against each other, and we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna band together. We're not gonna have a divide, and we're gonna be strong. Like
that's a whole other thing too. This kind of goes off topic, but the people who are getting mad at Jordan Peele for saying like he's just not gonna cast white people as the leads in his movies.
Dog, I'm fine with that.
People were so butthurt over it, and I'm
so
like,
fine
why? Because he said. He's like, I've already seen that movie. And it's like,
yes.
Yeah, there's too many. Like, yes. I don't understand what the outrage is there unless it's blatant racism, I like underlying that. in your body or something that's coming out. Because
and the thing is, I like that. Because I'm tired of seeing these freaking movies about race.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm tired of seeing these 12 Years a Slave and the movie that Taraji's going to be coming out with where she's like, I forgot whoever she's playing.
The stereotypical
I hate
black
seeing why are we still making these history movies.
Right, trying
I don't care.
to make it so that's all they're casting.
I don't care about that. I stopped watching these so long ago because it divides us. Why are we like? I was listening to another podcast and they said other countries probably don't do this. For example, if you go to Germany, are they making I think it's Germany, don't quote me on it, my history's off, but are they still making videos about the Holocaust, like about how divisive that was, and like talking about the icons there and all that? Like, are they still making
I don't
movies
know
like that? Like,
I don't know if they are, but it's true.
Like, and also I'm tired of all these. I'm so happy that Medea's done. Because I also felt like that was another stereotype like thing.
Yeah,
like,
honestly, and if you look at these movies, it was always the stereotype that the dark skin woman would be like the crazy, loud, angry type of person. And they would always cast the lighter skinned as like the more rational, the more whatever. And so I feel like now if we start casting any black person as a lead role, and you don't have to be a stereotype, so you can be dark-skinned and be rational and calm and whatever, then that's where we're moving in a positive direction.
See, it's more than that, though. because I also feel like those movies fit a stereotype. You're gonna have the freaking black jokes. Well, you're just focusing on the women part. I was just saying black.
Well, I'm saying, for example, because I see it more honestly with women than men. I feel like black women than men. I feel like are more.
No, I disagree.
Stereotype? Really?
Yes.
In the movies?
Dog, it's a common freaking joke, and I hate it. Where it's like, oh, the black guy always dies first in a movie, or the black guy always has to be the tough one, or like.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like whether you're light skin or dark skin. Male in a movie, I feel like they don't cast you in a stereotypical role. I feel like it's just all black men.
No, I'm so lost.
So you're okay. What I'm saying is they kind of separate further the women and make it worse. So now
they do the same thing where they have a black guy and a light guy, and the lighter skinned guy probably has abs. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
Like it still happens.
Yeah.
Like I'm tired of that. Like just give me us, Get Out. Like give me these movies where it's like, yeah, it could be played by either. Oh, not Get Out. But like, give me a movie where it's like it's a movie that has black people, not a
right,
like
as leads.
Like so many shows are
like I don't understand why they can't be leads.
We're
all people, and we're all talented in different ways. Like. I'm sure that they are just as talented as the next white person. I'm
so irritated by like that whole like whole movie things. And we saw there was a preview for the Issa Rae movie, and the girl from Blackish is in it, and the guy from This Is Us, and Regina King's in it, and all that
Justin
stuff.
Hartley.
Of course, you know his name.
I've seen him in a lot of shows. That's why.
And even that I felt like was like a what you call like a stereotypical black movie, because like in that preview I got little bits of like black jokes in there,
right?
And I'm just like,
And wasn't it is the dark skin one that she was like more bossy, and then she turns into the little girl?
I mean,
wasn't that?
Nah, Issa Rae and Regina King are the same.
Okay,
I think it's Regina King that's her name, right?
Well, that still proves my point, though.
Oh yeah, she had to be bossy and all that stuff.
Right,
and,
that still proves my point.
And see, I want to touch on something, but I don't want to get too detailed. But I've been like analyzing my workplace, and I'm like, damn, I can't think of any black women that work in my company. Wait, I can't think of one now. Now I'm thinking about it, just one. But I'm just
how many people work in your company?
I mean, it's global. I don't know that much.
Well, are you talking about your?
No, I'm talking about in general.
Workplace?
Like in general, okay. As far as like everyone I've interacted with, I think there's only I can only
even
think
at
of one.
The conference.
Those are clients.
Oh.
But I'm just like, damn, it's so crazy, and it's like that's one of the things I fear, and I hope I get better if we do ever have a daughter. Oh man, she's gonna be independent and all this stuff, but it's like, I'm drilling in the head. The perception that people have, and like how to negate that, and how to like work with it, and it sucks, it's draining, it's debilitating, but it's the world we live in, and I hope it gets better by that time.
Just to finish the hashtag topic so we can move on.
Yeah.
I was kind of torn on it because I feel like it can be a positive thing when people are acknowledging that they understand the privilege they have versus you do not. I think I don't know. It's tricky because there's also the people, of course, that can kind of twist it, and then now it's more so of the making you feel bad about it kind of thing, and just kind of furthering that divide and being like, so I'm great because I get this and you don't kind of thing. I feel like, of course, there's going to be all different types of people.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been a better hashtag. I think they just did that hashtag because it's very relatable and easy to type in or whatever. But
I want something. I want another point from this podcast was it's from the people. If you guys don't listen to him, it's from the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz, and he was saying how like America needs to have like a bigger like threat for us to like band together. Like for example, like Avengers has Thanos, so they gotta all like they have to like.
I mean, it's sad to say, but that was like what 9/11 was.
Yeah. Or like
that's kind of when everybody is just like, oh, we're
there
people.
Was something like a long time ago, probably like in the early 2000s, where like I think New York like lost like power in the whole city.
Wow.
And like they had to like don't quote me on this. I learned this from Casey's YouTube, and he like had some videos on it, so it was interesting. And like yeah, people were just banding together to help each other. And it's like I feel like we need that. Like we need aliens. We need something for us to like just be like, yo, this is another person. We have the same objective to like live and survive, and it's just help each other. Like it's so annoying that we have this like race issue for no reason. We couldn't even choose our gender. We can't choose our skin color. Why?
Right. And I don't understand why it's like for a while we'll band together after something horrific happens and then it just kind of goes away. Why? What was the problem? When 2 weeks ago you were hugging this person, now you can't look at them.
Yeah.
Like, what is the I don't get it. So I'm very much a love is love type of person. I don't care like who you love, what they look like, what their sexuality is, any of that stuff. I don't care because love is so much better than hate.
Yeah.
It's just so much more productive. It is a happy feeling. It's great. So it's like, why would I want to prevent anybody from feeling that? Yeah. So either to love someone or to be loved in return. And it's like, yeah, that's my 2 cents. So, all right. I don't know. I was just interested your take on it.
So this next one, it kind of touches on race, and I got super heated because I played it for you last night before we went to bed, and you're like, no, it's not a country song. So to not get copywritten or whatever, I'm not gonna play it on here. If you want to listen to it, go on YouTube and listen to the song is called Lil Nas X, and it's called Old Town Road. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. You can listen to it there. And there's a issue happening where this song it sounds like a country song. Yeah, it has elements of hip hop into it. But what the message of it is country.
How does it sound like a country song to you?
What he's talking about, the sound of it.
No, that's not the sound of it. What he's talking about is different than the sound. The sound of it does not sound country.
But it's a mix of two sounds.
Oh my goodness.
And so
it's
what happened?
Crossover. It is not country.
He should be on both charts. For example, Ariana Grande, she has a song, 7 Rings. It's not a rap. Wait, hold up. I'm trying to think of this. Yeah, I don't consider that a rap song. Okay. But that's on the hip hop and rap charts.
How long has this guy been around?
This is just a new artist.
Okay. So he hasn't established himself as anything yet,
I don't want to go with this. I don't want to go with this.
It's a question. Has he established himself as a certain artist yet?
This is his first song that he's put out.
Okay, because all I was going to say is when that happens, so for example, Taylor Swift, for a long time, she was a country artist. Then she slowly became more pop, and then she came out, and then she came out and was like, I'm just going to be a pop artist. So then she completely changed. So for a while she was country, then she was crossover, then she was pop altogether. So what I'm saying is, yes, it is very possible that you can change or you can be a couple things, but he's not. I don't get country artists from this person.
Yes. So this is the issue that we had with a lot of people throughout rap, and it's like, we let them. You grow. You branch out your genre. For example, we have alternative rap, trap. Like there's different types of rap. So how come they can't be that? Like country trap, rap, whatever.
Country trap?
Whatever.
What?
Whatever. Because like my issue is Billboard took it off its Hot 100 because the song was killing it on the charts. Because it's a real catchy song. It's really good.
So it was on country radio stations.
Yeah, they were playing it on the country. It didn't have an official release because it came out in March 14th, but it was on YouTube like 3 months ago, something like that. So it's been out there and people have been playing this.
See, I don't think it's right for them to just take it off like that. I do think that's wrong.
I'm like, who has to say and to take this off?
Yeah, I
when the
don't
song
even know
is
how
like,
that works, honestly.
And so
Because what's the problem there too? Because then he's making he has a record deal, I assume.
I mean, you don't. Okay.
I don't know because I don't know how this works with it. But like,
you don't need a record deal these days, as far as that
Well,
goes.
I'm
Maybe
saying
country,
regardless,
but
it's making money.
Yeah,
It's making money for someone somewhere.
Yeah,
if it's on the
it's
charts.
making money for him.
So, well, maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe they're mad that
So you're
he's
telling me
not
it's a race
with-
thing?
No,
You're telling me it's a race thing?
Oh my god,
Yo,
no.
because I have an issue.
Maybe it's mad. Maybe they're mad that like, oh, it's not making a bigger establishment money or something.
I have an issue because there's a Sam Hunt song. What was it called? What's the name of that song?
Break up in a small town.
Yo, say that a little bit louder. Say that a little bit louder.
Break up in a small town. It was my jam.
So she played it for me, and I listened to it. In the beginning, a couple minutes, or like a minute in, maybe something seconds in, he's just talking, and then it goes into the song, and I'm like, this isn't a country song. This is a pop song. This is something I can imagine like Ariana Grande making, or like any of these pop artists making. Not what?
Okay, so
it has
Sam
no
Hunt
country
too,
like sound to it.
And I understand that Sam Hunt is sort of like a crossover.
Let's not get
artist.
into this.
No, listen, because he was like, again, he was more country in the beginning, but then he kind of became a crossover artist because then what was that song? He had a song that was on every 2 seconds, and it would be on like all the stations. So he was like crossover. So he's not like.
Then what's
again? It's a different.
So if you're saying that, then what's wrong with this guy? For example, we let
Because
Post.
he's claiming he's just country.
No, this song is country. It was labeled as country. Like this song specifically was country.
Okay, here's my issue with this song, guys. So if you listen to the song, sure, he's talking about horses and stereotypical country stuff.
My daddy's mighty black.
Oh my god. But the sound of it is not country at all.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
talking about I'm
It has
talking about
drums in
music.
it.
Drums? You think
has-
drums make something country?
No, I'm saying it has drums in it that's taken from the rap side of it, but the sound and the message is
It's like
country.
a complete. Oh my gosh, the message.
Yo.
I said the lyrics are different. Oh my god, you see, guys. Okay, so backstory: I grew up loving country.
She doesn't even know much
From my
about country, as I'm showing you.
Stop. No, from my dad it started, and then I grew up loving country, and that was my jam. And it honestly wasn't until like I started dating people when my music taste started to kind of really shape.
You're
and I
welcome.
would take. It wasn't just you. Don't be taking all the credit.
You're welcome.
So I would start to become more eclectic with my music taste.
Yeah.
So now I kind of have a lot of different genres.
Okay.
So, but still, country is like my love. So it's annoying because it's the music aspect of it. It just sounds like a rap song with the little beat and
No,
the
it's
the
not.
way
It's
it
not
is.
a rap song.
That's the thing
Dog.
is there's nothing about the music. Focus. There's nothing about the music part that says
Yo.
country to me, which is a big part of the song.
Real quick, if you're listening to this podcast, go on YouTube right now, type in Lil Nas X Old Town Road, or type in Lil Nas X, and it'll be the first song that pops up. I don't know why, but he used for his like visualizer, he used Red Dead like trailers and clips for it instead of an actual music video. But nonetheless, the song is a country song. It has drums that are taken from rap. Yo, for example, do you know the Post Malone song Sunflower with Sway Lee?
I'm not a fan of it.
That song is not a rap song. It's on the rap and hip hop and rap charts.
Oh, I've only heard it on like pop radio.
It's on like
Very poppy.
Like yo.
I'm not again.
Like,
I am not saying
people
you can't
can
be a
cross over.
crossover. Yes.
Then why was this song taken off?
I can't answer that. All I am
But you say
saying,
it's song-
the
but you say it's
music part of it does not sound anything like country. I don't care how much you mention horses and tobacco and whatever else and drinking and all the
daddy's mighty
stereotypical.
black.
Oh my gosh, and all the stereotypical country stuff.
Cheated
that
on my
does not
baby.
make. Oh my gosh, that does not make a song country.
Yo, I'm gonna
That's
die.
not. You also need the sound, the twang, the sound.
He had a sound. Yo, I'm gonna die. I love these lines. My daddy's mighty black.
Oh my god.
No.
And he's trying to make it a race thing. Okay, sure. As a whole, country music has a lot more white people than it does black people. However,
Oh, I don't
we have
wanna hear it.
Darius
I don't-
Rucker,
yo,
who, if you listen
dog.
to Darius Rucker, We can make a drum solo on this table if you would like,
Yo,
sir. Okay, no, if you listen to Darius Rucker, you will hear a completely different sound. That is country.
I don't want to hear this. Because, just because you say you have one black guy, that's like you saying I have that one black cousin or I have that one black friend. I don't give a fuck.
Right, I'm not saying it's justifiable that we don't have more black people in the industry.
No.
I'm not saying that's great. I'm saying it is the sound. You want to make this a race thing bad, but it's not.
No, it's not a race thing. It's not a race thing. I'm saying this is what happened in rap, where we had these new artists come in, like Odd Future, a bunch of people, like probably 10 years ago, started coming into this, and the sound was different. Kanye ushered in a new sound when he did 808s and Heartbreaks. Like, that's just what happens.
I understand that.
It's not the normal rap. Hold up.
Oh my goodness.
It's not the normal rap that we're used to, of course. Yes, it's not the normal country you're used to.
One of these microphones is going to fly across the room.
Stop. Well, it's not the normal country stuff that you're used to, but this is what happens.
Which I understand. I was just going to say, okay? Because, for example, my mom always said, all the time growing up, this isn't country music. This is, back in my day, it was country. That's what like the parents always said is back in my day, there was the real twang and the real country sound and the authentic. That was the real country. And then before that, I'm sure they still said that. I understand that this happens. It's a generational thing too. Is like, for example, the stuff I grew up on to me is my country. And I'm sure within like the next 10-ish years, I'm going to start being like, this is not country. I'm probably the newer stuff. I'm probably going to be like, no, I'm not digging it.
This is what happens.
And I understand that it's a generational thing. And so like there's that. So I get what you're saying about ushering in a new sound, but I think that's where I'm struggling is because this is not what I am used to with country. This is not country to me.
Within the next year or two, when more songs start slowly creeping into country that have a similar sound, introduce more of the drum sound and more of the country sound into it, you're gonna accept it. You're gonna find someone that you like that's doing it and be like, yo, I like this person. Like you're saying, you're allowing these crossovers like Taylor Swift and Sam Hunt and whoever, and it's like, how come this guy is an exception?
Because they start as country artists and then they cross over. But
Post Malone started as a rap artist and he crossed over.
Okay.
What are you talking? Like what?
Didn't Post Malone sound much more rap in the beginning and now he's more pop?
No, he did not.
I don't know much about Post Malone.
Okay.
That's why I'm asking.
He claimed as a rapper, so we took him as a rapper. And then he kind of took himself away from rap. I don't know why we still mess with him, but yeah.
Well, now he's just one of those, he kind of conformed to pop, and that's why people mess with him because he's this, it's what sells kind of thing. Again, I don't know why they took him off. I don't think it's right that they took him off. If you're charting, do it. Like, I don't think that's
if the song was,
I think that's wrong.
If it was a real rap song, I get it. Take it off. But the message and the sound of it, I say it's a mix. It's a mix.
The message, when you're talking about the message too, so rude. Would you get mad if I said every single rap song was about drugs and being misogynistic and all that stuff?
But it's not. I don't say every single country song is like that.
But you're saying a lot of the ones country because it mentioned horses and stuff.
No.
Country is a lot more than this stereotype.
I cheated on my baby.
Oh my God.
Drinking some whiskey. This is hilarious.
I'm going to stab him with my eyes.
Nonetheless.
He's going to feel the daggers from my
I felt
eyes.
like he shouldn't be taken off the Billboard charts. I hope that they put Lil Nas X back on.
We want to know your take on this. Listen to his song have some sort of background on country, please.
If
you're going to come at this. You have to know where I'm coming from.
I want everyone's view.
Okay, sure. But, I mean, it would help if people know where I'm coming from, too.
Yeah, I'm curious to know everyone's view. If you want, feel free. We're going to put a clip of this on YouTube. So comment. You can make your comments there on what your thoughts are after you heard the song. Or you can send us an email, pagingthesimpsons@gmail.com. And I'm curious. Because I don't think, or tweet us, Instagram us, whatever. I really feel like, one, he should have been taken off, and two, it is a country song. It is a country song.
I don't think it should have been taken off. That's not what I'm saying.
Yo, you're not agreeing that it's not a country song.
Because it doesn't sound country to me.
Oh,
Just because it mentions country topics does not mean it is a country sound.
Yeah, we're going to fight.
Period.
We
already did.
We're going to fight. Okay. So in the next couple years, when this music becomes more and more of a thing, when it has more rap influences mixed with your country, because it currently does, but you're accepting of the white artists that are there.
Oh my gosh. See, you are trying to make it a race thing.
No, I'm not. I'm just making a point that Taylor Swift can make a song that sounds country and pop, and it's cool.
Again, you do not understand her background and
it doesn't matter. I'm talking
how
about the song
she evolved.
itself. I'm talking about the song
wasn't like a
itself.
jump. She didn't start with her first song and have it half-ass country and be like, I'm a country
talking about
artist.
one song. You don't know. Hello, you start from somewhere.
Okay. Well, then let's see what he comes out with next.
Clearly, this guy sounds like dog. He lives this lifestyle. Maybe.
Then let's see what he comes out with next.
Oh, trust me, I will.
Okay.
We'll be back on this topic again.
Okay.
The song is amazing though. Like straight up, I'm gonna add this to my freaking like chill playlist. I cheated on my baby. I gotta learn the lyrics. Just wait. I'm gonna be singing it all around the house. You're gonna love that song too. Just wait, guys. Give me a week. She'll be like, "Oh shoot, I'm playing this."
No.
Got you reciting lyrics and all that stuff. All right, man. Let's get on to something else. I want to touch on this Jussie Smollett
God,
topic.
you never know how to say his name. It's not that hard.
It's a weird name. Black people always want to make weird ass names.
Wow. You said it. I didn't.
I mean, I have the right to say it. If you said it, yo, I'd be like, yo, I'm canceling you straight up.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot.
I thought we weren't canceling that.
I'm canceling you. Cancel you like I canceled Christmas. Call me Luke Cage.
No, that's Tommy.
Oh, it's Tommy from Power. God damn.
Dude.
God damn.
The heck, and he's white, so.
God damn. Yeah, Luke Cage has Sweet Christmas. God damn. What's up with all this Christmas? All right. So as we know, I'm not sure if you guys know. If you do, cool. That Jussie Smollett has been freed. He's a free man. I guess from what I read on this, his case is cleared.
Yeah, everything is dropped.
Well, it's not dropped. The he had to pay like a certain amount,
right?
And
But
also
I think
do
it's all
community service.
Like nothing's
so they
on
had
his
to
record.
Nothing's on his record. But like it's not like the cases aren't like dropped. It's just
Woo,
they
he has to do
sealed
community service and it's all gone like it never happened.
Did it. He already did
exactly.
All that. And they sealed like the folder for this. But now Trump is getting like the FBI and the Justice Department to like investigate this further because it came out of left. The Chicago police didn't know, and now the Chicago police are saying, "Yo, we want $130,000 for like that whole time spent and the overtime and all that stuff." And it's like, I feel like that's only right. Like, shoot, they put so much time into figuring out this hate crime that could have happened. Again, we don't know. So I feel like it's right that they should get paid for it. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with that.
You know what was funny? Did you see the video of him walking out with his attorney and lawyers and all that?
I don't know.
Oh man, he was walking out of there, and he had like the gloves on his hand. He had a nice little jacket, and what came in my head, as far like you probably don't know the song, which sucks because you won't get the reference. Anyone that gets this rap reference, if you know the Meek Mill and Rick Ross song. Do you know that he made a gay Tupac reference? Like,
oh, you told me that.
Yeah, he made a gay Tupac reference. So in my head, I'm thinking that Meek Mill and Rick Ross song where Ross is like Tupac Beck. But in my head, I'm like gay Tupac Beck. And then I kind of wrote some lyrics. There's all these boys screaming that gay Tupac Beck. All eyes on me. You could picture me roll it. No, you're not feeling it. Fine.
Okay.
That's what came in my head. That's my version. I came in my head, and I just.
Okay.
You know what? I hate you, yo. I hate you.
You want to be nominated for a Grammy?
I hate you. I freaking hate you. Oh my god, that's what I thought when I saw him walking out. This guy was like, I feel like he wanted to crack a smile when he was walking out of there. Like, it looks like I'm free.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. That's the vibe I get from him.
I kind of feel that, like, who owns Empire? Fox? I feel like Fox probably had something to do with this. I don't know. I feel like you have to have some type of power. It wasn't Jussie that did this. I really feel like he has someone someone that's higher than
everybody has
him.
puppets and everybody has like connections and stuff in this
That's what I feel like
industry.
happened. Like it wasn't like if this would have happened when if he wasn't famous, like he would still be in jail.
Yeah.
But I think someone doesn't want him in there, so that's why they like.
Well, because their show is tanking now.
I mean, it was tanking
That doesn't
beforehand.
help.
This just made it even worse.
No, this is like it's really tanking. now.
They made it even worse now.
Yeah.
And I think after he got free, I think the Empire like Twitter tweeted like, "Oh, we'll be back on Wednesday," or whatever. I don't know, something like that. Like there's some tweet. It's just like I don't know. There's something going on here. I'm very interested to see if the FBI and Justice Department can come up with anything. I do feel like it's right that the Chicago PD does get paid the time that they put in for all this, because it's kind of crazy that like they had no idea, and like the black cop that came out and did like the statement way like in the beginning saying that, you know, this is all that happened, this is what they found out in the investigation. That guy was so heated. So heated. Like, oh man. So I'm so curious to know, as the story's going and like unfolding, I'll give updates. I'm so curious on what's gonna happen. Is really what I'm looking forward to learning. Anything else you got to drop on that?
Not really.
That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. One thing I want to touch on next is women drugging men, specifically Cardi B.
All right, you start. I gotta find my
man.
screenshot. I have to read.
Now, I find this crazy because this is a similar case to Jussie Smollett, where I feel like so many people are in bed with Cardi B that, unless someone pulls the trigger on her, she's not going anywhere. Like, she has Amazon. She has Amazon as far as, like, she does the commercials with the, like, Echo and all that stuff.
Oh.
Netflix, they have a show coming out with her. She has a record deal with Atlantic, I believe. She has a Vegas, what do you freaking call it? Residency. Where she's getting, she's getting a lot of money in Vegas.
Wow.
Like, so many people are in bed with Cardi, and if one company comes out and says, shut up. Hopefully they don't get drugged. If one company comes up and say like, hey, we're not feeling it, or if like the uproar is like that crazy, where like a company feels like, hey, we gotta back away from Cardi, but no one did this. I guess it wasn't too crazy, and it's like, that's wild.
I mean, part of it is a lot of people are like, it's not like she portrayed she had a squeaky clean past. She's always kind of been open about stuff, so I think that's where people are justifying it.
But it's also messed up because it's tough. It's a tough situation because being a stripper, you get this. You get guys pushing up on you saying, yo, I want to have sex with this girl, whatever.
I get this. Do I have experience as a stripper?
You have a guy saying they just want to have sex with you?
You're like, you get this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, no, I get it as far as like, I was saying I get it as far as like that environment where it's like, yeah, you're gonna like if you're in a strip club environment and you're the stripper, a guy's gonna be like, yo, I want to have sex. Like, you're in a strip club to essentially get these guys to get off on themselves.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you for that visual.
No problem. That's what I'm here.
That graphic content.
I'm here to serve and not get drugged.
For this explicit episode.
Oh man. So like I get that. That's an environment. That's what you got to do. You know, especially if you're struggling and all that stuff, you're trying to make money any way you can get it. It's not right, but it's not. It's tough. It's tough.
Here's my thing. Someone I know had posted on Facebook last week. They posted like this meme. I don't even know what this lady, the show is or whatever. It's a meme. It says, Cardi B, I drugged men and stole from them. And says, me, good for her. And she said, men done used and abused women so long that I have absolutely no sympathy for Cardi's quote unquote victims. To which I replied, because I could not hold back.
Oh, God.
I said, this is what plays into the whole men are never victims, though, which is wrong. Men are abused in many different ways, too, and it should be recognized, and she should be held just as accountable as a man would be if he said the same thing. To which she said, nothing. She didn't get back to me.
Wait, that's a friend you know?
Yeah. I'm not like, we're not best friends. It's just like, A friend on Facebook.
Oh man.
Used to know her more a few years ago, but
I'm probably saying just delete your comment. That's what I'd do. Like,
she didn't. I looked. I went back and looked, but she didn't get back to me.
Get that trash off my freaking timeline.
Because I have a very sensitive place when it comes to the fact that
violence, all that.
What? Yes. The fact that like men still get abused too, and that it's this whole thing that women's shelters and women's rights and women getting abused and stuff, that still very much happens a lot, and it is still very important, but we then tend to push to the side the fact that men have the same issues a lot of times.
Yeah.
Men can be raped, men can be beat, men can be emotionally manipulated, all this stuff. And at the end of the day, we're all people, just like we were saying about race. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what gender. We are all people. We all have feelings. We all, deserve love and to be loved and all that. So it just irritates me that people are kind of coming at it from a point of, well, men have been pigs for all this time, so I'm glad that a woman was empowering and did this for us. Doing that is not empowering as a woman. You still did something that was ethically wrong, morally wrong. And
I'd like to say you can get
you could shouldn't.
But the only thing is that guy's also wrong because you're paying for sex. So
I understand that.
But yeah, the drugging is wrong. The drugging is more wrong because you're taking consent away from someone.
Basically, drugging, raping, and stealing.
There wasn't raping that was happening. It was just the stealing from them.
Okay.
It's just to make that clear.
Well, still, drugging and stealing.
Because the guy was paying for sex.
You could kill the person if you don't know what you're doing.
Which is very true, and I'm gonna assume she probably didn't, because coming from that environment, you probably just know, like, hey, if I give him some of this, but it is what it is.
Regardless,
that person may have analogy to whatever you're giving, or whatever. Yeah. Like, it could be whatever. Anything could happen in that.
It irritates me because it's like, I understand. Yes, there's still a lot of men that are pigs out there. There's still a lot of men that do a lot of bad things to women or to people in general. But it's everybody. Women can be just as bad, if not worse. Women can cut through you in a way that men just don't. Like, women can be ruthless. So I don't know. It really bugged me that people are kind of justifying it, sweeping it under the rug. Like, hey, she did what she had to do, which fine. I can acknowledge. I understand there are a lot of different lines of, where you stand making income and how much you make a year. And if you're truly struggling, you need to eat, you need to provide for kids, whatever. I understand people kind of do what they have to do in the moment. I'm not discounting that. Although there are always better methods, I just think it's wrong to just, be like, what she did was okay. Because it still wasn't.
Because if this was a guy that says that let's say he was a male escort also, and he didn't want to have sex with women, so he would drug them, not rape them, but he would you would invite this guy to your house, and he would take what you have, whatever jewelry.
Here's the problem: when you're drugged, you don't know what happened to you, though. Now that takes a psychological toll.
Yeah.
Because again, we are discounting the fact that men have feelings as much as we do, and that men can be just as messed up.
Also, to add
from
to this
fact,
event, if you're in that environment, if you're in the strip club environment, you could be, everything could perfectly be fine with you. You could be cool, but you probably are going through some things to the reason why you're in there. To start
with, yeah.
So that adds to it, and then you're thinking you're gonna do this thing with someone else, which they agreed on because you're going to probably a hotel,
right,
to go do this, and it's like, you wake up and you don't know what happened. You don't know where your money is. You don't have anything because it's someone that you don't know has taken it all.
Let me ask you, when you were growing up, did your mom ever educate you, when you went to school dances and stuff, not to put your drink down and then pick it back up again, kind of thing?
No.
That's a big thing women are instructed on.
Of course.
Is we are always taught, never put your drink down. If you do put it down, do not go back to it. Get another, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. So that being said, that is because of drugging.
Because men are nasty.
Which I understand and I agree with. However, that's where, again, the double standard comes in. Because it is just as easy for me to do it to you.
But the thing is...
If not easier, because hello, what if I tag team a guy? Okay, I have another hot friend with me. You know, we have our boobs all out. Someone's distracting you while I do that. But like women, we're perfectly capable of doing it too. And that's exactly what happened.
Yo, you just made me think about this. So there's a music video that's made by Royce da 5'9". I forget the freaking name of the song. And he played it like it was like a Twilight Zone type of like music video vibe. Mm-hmm. And like essentially he was like he was in a bar and he was spitting games to this one girl, and then this other girl like put something in his drink as he was talking to this other girl. Mm-hmm. And then like the girl called her friend over and like, you know, they started talking and they talked about having a threesome, all this stuff. Yep. And then turns out as they like go up to the hotel room that they're at the place that they're staying at, the guy starts feeling the effects of the drugs as they're like trying to like, you know, pretend like they're gonna do something to him, whatever. And then he wakes up in a bathtub full of ice with his dick cut off. That was like the plot twist of the whole freaking like music video. It was crazy.
Oh my god!
It was a great music video, but like, yeah, that's what you just like.
I'm telling you, women have a lot of wrath. Okay, like you do not play when it comes to women. That's why I'm saying like we can be scarier. So
yeah,
I just think it's wrong all around.
It's tough because it's like, yeah, we tell our little girls and, you know, our daughters, all that stuff to like not put an open drink out in the public because guys are nasty. Mm-hmm. A guy would do that, drug you to have sex with you.
My mom started telling me that like before. I used to go to the dances in middle school, so they started in 6th grade. Mm-hmm. She started telling me that by 6th grade. I'm like, what are you, like 10 or 11 in 6th grade? It's ridiculous.
I would say that's a bit extreme.
It is not though.
In middle school?
You have to, as a parent, okay, we were just talking about earlier in this episode, being a parent of, well, our child would be mixed, but still would have the black in her, and she would have to know certain things like that you want her to know. So it's kind of similar where, and especially in this day and age, not for nothing with social media and everything else, like kids are growing up faster.
Yeah.
So, like, you can never be too careful.
Okay, I see your point.
It's ridiculous. It's sad.
At the end of it, I feel like, not that I want anyone to lose money.
Plus, let's not forget, sorry, I'm, like, still on it. Let's not forget, it's awful, and a lot of our teachers are amazing. But some teachers are not so amazing. The teachers usually chaperone these events. And there's been proven to be teachers that are very disgusting with some students. So... who knows? I don't think the parents are just warning against other kids in this case.
Yeah.
You never know. You basically can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
So.
At the end of this, it's not right. I don't think that Cardi should lose money. Like I don't want her.
I don't think she should be put on this pedestal though that she did nothing wrong and that it was this great thing for women. That's the problem.
Because men are like,
it's not
that's wrong. I don't want you to lose money over it, but I just want you to understand that. I don't think this
makes me look great as a woman. What she did, it wasn't even self-defense. Like, he wasn't doing anything bad to her.
And you agreed on it.
Right.
If we're going to a hotel room, and it's not by force,
so like it wasn't self-defense in the fact that he was beating you or going to do something wrong to you that you didn't want. You were just taking advantage of this person as a person and financially.
Yeah.
Like... that does nothing for me as a woman.
And she put out an apology, which is great. Of course, you knew I was going to follow, but it's
PR.
like, I don't really believe it. It is what it is. Of course, we talked about cancel culture in our past episode, and I'm not canceling Cardi B. I just want there to be some, like, real acknowledgement to the, like, hey, that's wrong. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about a written apology, like, does that for me. Mm-hmm. I feel like in this day and age, I need a video. I need to see it and to feel it in some way, because you could tell it's not going to happen. I feel like I feel like she's not going to address it. She said what she said, and that's what it is.
Whatever.
To get into our last thing here, we're going to get into some relationship advice, and this one I wanted to touch on because I'm thinking about making a separate episode to get more deeper into it, but who knows? We'll see. I want to get your thoughts on it because this is us. This is literally us. So this person says, I'm a huge introvert. So this is a female. She's 21. I'm a huge introvert, and my 22-year-old boyfriend is extroverted and is causing problems. So excuse me for this. I'm reading straight off the cuff. Could be spelling errors. Yeah, should rewrite these, but whatever. We'll just run it with it. So she goes on to say, hey there. As the title says, recently my boyfriend confronted me about not being as talkative and social as he wants me to be. I don't think he understands. I can't do that without having a day or two to myself to recharge. That being just spending a day where I can just be alone and not socialize with anyone. It's mentally exhausting to be around to be around him. Sometimes when we spend every day with each other and not being able to respond the way I normally would when I have those recharge days. He's super happy the days that I'm on par with him. Our conversations could go on for hours. It's so fun being with him when I'm not socially exhausted. We just spent an entire spring break with each other since we both go to school, and he said he felt like I was annoyed with him some days, but really, I was just tired of socializing and needed a break from talking. How do I tell him I need some space without seeming like a bad girlfriend for not wanting to spend every waking moment with him, or in a way that he won't take it wrong? I love spending time with him. I just need my alone days sometimes.
So, okay, this is very interesting. It is very much like us. I always accept, okay, so it's opposite because you're the introvert, I'm the extrovert. Mm-hmm. However, I always like to say I'm introverted extrovert. I'm like somewhere in the middle, believe it or not. Maybe not to you, but like I'm very much the type of person. I still love when I could be driving for hours and I'm kind of just by myself, and that could be my recharge time, or I'm at home when like you're at work and I don't have anything to do, so I have like those few hours or something to recharge before you get home. I'm very much that way. I'm also not a big partier or anything, so I'm not like an extreme extrovert. Mm-hmm. But in this case, yeah, sure, I'm the extrovert, you're the introvert. So it's very interesting because it's very similar, because even, for example, like when we went on our vacation to Mexico, we were together, okay, on vacation for an entire week, the whole time, no one was going to work. No one was, doing normal stuff because you're on vacation. But we still like had those moments where we were kind of had to decompress from each other or separate, whether it's just in the hotel room on our phones or watching TV, or like if we're at the pool and I'm laying out and you're in the pool, or like something, it's kind of, that's how we are. And that's how I feel like it makes us function better together. Because if we were on that vacation and we were on top of each other every second, there would have been fights on that vacation, because you would have been irritated and exhausted, and it would have. But
we had those issues during that vacation. Like there's times where it's like you didn't want to go to the gym, but I really wanted to go to the gym.
Well, I just didn't feel like working out on vacation.
But it's like you didn't have to go. You could have stayed in the room, and I could have went to the gym. The gym wasn't far. It was just walking a little bit down.
I just didn't know what else to do, honestly.
You figure it out. Like something like that. That would be my own time to recharge and just do something separate.
Right.
Or like at times where it's like I didn't want to lay on the same bed with you. I want to have my own space because we're
two
together.
Double beds.
Yeah, we were in a room with 2 double beds. So. Yeah. It's like I want to lay on my own bed and like just recharge and just be on my phone playing the game and just like have some quiet time by myself.
Right.
And we go through this even now, like this weekend. It's so draining for me because
I was gonna bring that up.
Because yesterday we went like ring shopping.
Yep.
And all that stuff, and we went to the movies and all that stuff, which is cool. We
had lunch,
and then we had like a couple hours later in the day, and it's just like. That wasn't enough for me. Right. And then like for me, I liked having at least one day out of my 2-day weekend to just be mine, where I could just like I don't have to talk to anyone, I don't have to deal with anyone, I could do whatever I want and just chill. I work too hard to like not have that time, and that's what's so like stressful for me.
I feel you.
So we get into a lot of those issues.
Which it's interesting because it's like I work so hard too. But like I said, I think where I find my recharge often is when you're at work or something. So that by the time you get home, I'm ready to be with you, but you're not because you just got home.
And it's
so like we have this because my schedule is not conventional. My schedule is all over the place. It's not 9 to 5. So I find those pockets of time at different times. I'm not like, oh, I go to work all day and then I have the evening. Like it could be 1 p.m. and I'm taking a break or whatever. Like, so it's I think that plays a role.
And like trying to explain it to you, we do get into our disagreements and fights, and it is a huge problem for me because it's like, if you're an introvert, you get it. It's something that you need. Like, you need that break, a separation from everyone. It's just so stressful, like, when your partner's not getting it, and then, like, you try to explain it, and they don't like it. I don't really have any, like, real advice for this person other than you got to communicate it. I'm going to let you know, hey, I need to relax. I hope that you respect it. If you don't,
I think it's making sure that then they both get what they need at the end of the day. And that's how it works. Because yes, this person is like, oh, I need to relax. Can you respect that? But in the same breath, the other person's going to be like, okay, but after that, I need some like one-on-one time with you. Can you respect that? That's
after
where.
That, but it's so I'm going based on what she said. Like, she's like, we just had spring break together, and he's realizing that, like, hey, sometimes when we were together that whole week, you seem like you were annoyed.
Right.
Then why are we saying after that? Like, yo, I just spent like the whole. Let's say
I'm talking like day to day.
But let's say I just spent the whole day with you, like yesterday.
Right.
I spent like the whole day with you.
Well, that's why
and
last night it was like whatever.
At the end of that, after we got back home, like, I was irritated with you. I just wanted, like, nothing against.
I didn't even do anything.
But that's what I'm saying. Nothing with you, but I needed my space. Like, I'm done.
Okay, so you were irritated. You weren't irritated with me. Because you literally just said
irritated with you in the sense of anything that you would ask me and all that stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to just have my, like, peace and quiet. That's my moment.
Which I understand, which is why last night, yeah, we had our separate time, which, believe it or not, I wanted too. See, again, like, I'm kind of in the middle. Because I had a long day yesterday. I had to get up super early to do a job first. And then we had to bring our dog to the groomer. Then we had where we went out to lunch. We went to the several shops. We went to the movie. Like, it was kind of a back-to-back kind of thing. So I was physically exhausted and I was socially exhausted as well. So it worked where we both had our separate time last night. So I'm like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
If I was like an extreme extrovert, I don't know. This would be... It's
just tough because, yeah, we still have those issues because, yeah, you're cool with when I bring up the whole gym thing when we're on vacation now, but at the time you are not feeling that. You wanted me to stay with you hand and foot and all that stuff. Like, yeah, like, and it's like, that's so irritating when it's like, I just want my own separate time to just be alone. Like, those moments, oh, they're so amazing. And it's no disrespect to my partner, no disrespect to you. It's just, that's what's needed. Like,
well, right, and I think that I've found over time that when you have your moment alone, our moments together are better. Kind of like what she was saying. Yeah. Because then you're recharged. I'm getting what my, I guess, recharge is with you. And it's more enjoyable for both people because it's more enjoyable for you because you're recharged, and it's more enjoyable for me because you're being better because you're in a better place. Yeah. You're not craving this recharge.
Yeah, because I've taken care of myself and, like, got the time that I needed to just chill. Like, yo, after we're done recording this podcast, working on it, relaxing the rest of the day. Best believe. We can watch a show, whatever. But some bit of that time of today, I just need to chill by myself.
And finish in the laundry. Those are our weekends too, catching up with chores. Yay.
So it's just like it really comes down to that, having that conversation, your partner respecting that's what you need,
and doing it both ways, like I said, because that's at the end of the day, that's what's important.
That's great.
You have to find a balance.
That's great. It sounds like she there is that balance as far as her side goes. It's him also understanding that, like, yeah, she needs her time alone because that's her.
Right, and I think at the end of the day, it's like we've gotten better at finding the balance. And
Yeah, because before it was a lot of issues.
It was definitely, it was...
A lot of fights.
It was very much, we didn't know... We were different, and it didn't, like, we didn't know how to make... Yes, but we didn't know how to make that work. We didn't know how to kind of compromise it and just balance it.
We still have those issues.
No, but it's not like anything what it was before.
It's not.
It's
not.
more normal now. Like
it's not. It is something you have to work through. I don't think she said how long she's been in this relationship for. I'm assuming I'm gonna go with the assumption that they've been together for not the longest.
And the thing is too, I also came from a background where growing up, it's like we were always together. Like my family was always together. We were always like doing things and talking to each other and kind of on top of each other.
That's too much.
Which I understand.
Mine was a mix.
Which I understand. However, it's like, okay, so I came from that background. And then I went into another long-term relationship where we were always together on top of each other. We were just kind of like, it was kind of the same page, was like, we always want to spend every minute together. So then when I came here, it was like a culture shock for me.
I'm like, yo, I don't need you on me like that. Like, you know.
But you have to understand then. For me, my entire life was different. So for being with you, it was like a culture shock. And I had to, there was a struggle time period where we had to communicate what we needed to each other, but we weren't understanding. We weren't willing to compromise. We just weren't seeing eye to eye because we came from two different backgrounds. And now we have to make it work somewhere in the middle. And no one was willing to really budge. And it was like this whole thing. And then schedules were always changing, which makes it difficult. I think that's what we struggle with more, honestly, in the day-to-day, is that our schedules are so different. Yeah. It's not that we argue so much about how to have, like, I think we've gotten to a point where we have like certain amounts of time that we have like our own time and our together time or whatever. It's just about, okay, next weekend I have this, so let's do it this time instead. It's kind of like we just kind of have to finagle when stuff's happening. We're not arguing about it happening, period. I don't think anymore. It used to be the fact that I'd be like, well, no, I need like X, Y, and Z all the time. And you'd be like, no, I need this all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, like one of the things that like I have to have is like when I get home from work, like I work like, you can say like 45 minutes, an hour with traffic if it's bad, away. So like driving to and from is exhausting. That's why I want to get a Tesla.
Oh my god.
Different topic.
Which, by the way, with his drive, and I've told him before, because he has a very specific like highway he goes on, and it's dreadful when there's traffic. People are awful, and I've been stuck in that, like whether it's coming home from a wedding or a meeting or whatever.
Yep.
And I've come home and told him, I'm like, I do not know how you do this 10 times a week, like back and forth.
And it's like
I can see how that is very frustrating and exhausting. And I can see how if I get frustrated on that road, I can easily come home and take it out on you. So you're kind of like, you need to decompress, 1, to not do that, and 2, to kind of get in a better mindset.
Well, yeah, because also it's like, that's why I learned growing up as a kid when I got back from school, like I wouldn't talk I guess my mom just got used to it because she was never pushy. She's pretty much like me, just chill. So it's like when I came in, I just, got something to eat, went into my room and like chilled for a little bit. And then I would come out and talk to everyone, see what's up, and all that stuff. So I do the same thing here.
Which is like, also where we were different. Again, it comes into the being raised. Because when I got home from school, I swear, every day we'd have to sit there and talk for like a half hour, an hour. Right when we got in about what happened. And then an hour later, we'd have dinner and we'd be talking about it all over again. I mean, I'm not kidding when it's like we would just always be talking about a lot of the same stuff over and over again. So, which I was not
to
be.
That.
It is, to be fair, it's not something I really wanted either. It's just kind of how I grew up. You know, you do kind of what your parents do, blah blah blah. So that's where, again, once we moved out, there was an adjustment period for me. There was very much an enlightening period where I really found my balance in myself about how do I actually want to live? How do I actually want to do things my way?
Yeah.
Like, I had to very much find myself and my preferences and my way of doing things, and how that plays out now with another person who also does things differently. It was there's a lot of layers to why it causes issues. So I mean, it's with these people, it's like there could be a lot of different stuff playing a part. We don't know,
of course. I'm throwing this in the 3 C's.
Oh jeez.
What was it again? Consent, communication, compromise. There we go.
I swear, if we ever get merch, that's going to be a shirt.
3 C's. Like, there needs to be that, you know.
It's not overnight. It takes a long time to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what people aren't kidding when they say relationships are hard and they take time and whatever. Like, it's not overnight. It can take months and months and months just to kind of finally get that aha moment and get to like, oh, okay. So like, this is what we've been working towards all along. Okay, cool. We can totally go with this from now on. Like, and it's crazy because once you get there and you're like, wow, why wasn't that easier?
Yeah.
But like, it's all part of the process.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be easy because, again, two different people with different backgrounds, different thoughts, different priorities, different feelings.
Yep.
A lot goes into that.
You go with working on that, and then
you're stressful.
And then comes the kids, and then it's like you got to plan out like, okay, since you came from that background of your family always wanted to talk to you, and I came from the background of my family being like, yeah, talk to me when you're ready. It's like, okay, how are we gonna bring that to your kids now?
Yep.
Like it's
gonna be very interesting.
It's interesting, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to like talk about it, communicate, and figure out how you're gonna take on that next
that's where
level.
Then you go into, okay, my parents did this, I'll do this, but then they did this, I don't want to do that. That's where you have to now dissect.
I also feel like,
what do you want to do that you grew up with, and what do you want to change?
Also, there also needs to be like, I don't know, like, I feel like the kid also needs to have a say in it, depending on what it is. Because like, if you told your parents and being like, I don't really want to, no offense to you guys, I don't want to talk to you every time I come in. Sometimes I just want to, you know, go and do whatever I want.
Yeah, there's very much a level of, you know, a lot of parents think, oh, I'm the parent, therefore you have to do as I say, you have to respect everything, you like question nothing. That's not the best way to parent. I do believe that yes, there is there's mutual respect.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. If they're 2 and they're throwing a tantrum and sure, there's all different scenarios.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, even if the kid is 8 years old and comes in and sure, to you because you're, 35 or whatever, and you've gone through life, their little struggle is not a struggle to you. However, you have to remember, because I remember thinking about this actually growing up. I was very insightful with myself. I was like, like when I was 15 or something, I was like, this is really a struggle for me right now. I bet in 10 years, which ironically now it is 10 years. I bet in 10 years, this is going to look like nothing. But right now, this is really a struggle to me. And I just need whoever I'm going to talk to about that to respect that. So as a parent, you have to look back and remember whatever it was at 8 years old. In that time, that's the end of the world to you. That's a big deal to you. So yeah, if you had a bad day and you just want to go, listen to your music and zone out in your bedroom, you don't want to talk to your parents. Your parents should respect that. It shouldn't be this whole, it shouldn't be this, no, you have to sit down right there and tell me everything that happened today at school.
Because that's putting so much more stress on to whatever they're going through.
Yes. There very much is a mutual respect, I think, that needs to be had between parents and children.
Yes.
That is very real. And then it should become, ideally, even more of that when they're adults, children as adults.
You got it.
But yeah.
Oh man! So to answer this girl's question, you got to sit down,
in here.
Communicate with your boyfriend. Say that I respect you enough to to talk to you about this. I hope that you respect that I need this, because it's not a want. If this is what you need, especially if you're an introvert, because I get it.
Yeah, the whole wants and needs.
You need this to like, so you don't spaz out on your partner, so you don't like have a horrible next day because it's like you haven't gotten the time to just relax and zone into what you need to do.
And, I never forgot, too. It's like growing up, my dad would say, he's like, when you get in a relationship, don't forget that it is very important to have your individual time.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was ever in relationships, he said that to me multiple times. And I would say to him, like, no, yeah, I understand. That totally makes sense. Then when you get in relationships with people who don't need it as much, that's where, again, I started to get used to it. Now, backtracking, I'm with you.
Yep.
I had to flip it again. So it's very interesting because in the back of my mind, I would always think that. I'd be like, okay, they can have their friends. They can go out. They can have their alone time. All this stuff, because in reverse, guess what? I want the same thing.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't deny the other person of it, too, if you want the same thing. So, like, I would always remember that. But like I said, it's kind of like life happened and it started to then change my views and mold me to whoever I was with or whatever my situation was. And so when those change, now I had to like dig that up and like remember that. And it's just, it's very interesting, but it's very true. Like you have to, no matter if you're an introvert or extrovert, you very much have to have your individual time. Self-care, all that good stuff, very important. And I've realized over the last couple of years how important that is even for me. So
and we're gonna as we go through this and like, all the things we're like learning and growing and changing with and adapting with between us, like we'll talk about more as we go through the podcast and how it relates to whatever topic we're touching on. Mm-hmm. But it comes down to that communication and respecting your partner.
Yeah, respect the person, what they need.
Yeah. Can't
Which goes both ways, but that's
yeah. I think on that note, we're gonna wrap. I can't even talk.
We gonna wrap up, guys,
and roll out. If you're cool with it. I also think. Tell me your thoughts on this. I don't think we're gonna have a Friday episode.
No,
I don't think. I think
like
this one
beefy long episode we had this week.
You guys a little bit extra there. I don't think we're gonna have a Friday one. Playback, if you haven't heard any of the past episodes that we put out, check them out. We do have quite a backlog at this point, with this being now episode
11?
11. Yeah, I think it's 11.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to have a Friday one. If you want to watch the YouTube version of this podcast, it is up. I am putting clips of different parts of this podcast up on YouTube as well throughout the week.
Yeah, and the whole thing. So if you guys ever want to see us doing it, like we have a little setup now. So you guys, we literally record it as we're doing the podcast.
If you want to watch that is also live. The whole episode's live. And clips will be coming out throughout the week. That's what I'm thinking. If you guys haven't, much appreciate if you are listening on iTunes, if you rate and review this podcast,
give it 5 stars. We'll love you forever.
I'm not sure if you want to hold out, like do this intro.
Not
intro. God damn, I can't talk.
Get it together. Apparently, I have to do the outro.
I've been talking for like over an hour, and now I'm just like freaking. I can't.
That's that introvert way again.
Shut up. So I'm not sure if you want to take it off.
Sure. Okay, guys. You ready for this?
Fun after the last episode.
All right, let's go. Ready?
Okay.
Did you hear that? Okay, it claps in front of the mic.
Okay, let's go.
So, if you have not already, please give us 5 stars and a lovely comment on iTunes. We could really use the reviews, and we'd really appreciate it. Also, you need to follow us everywhere. We are Paging the Simpsons on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun places.
Yep.
Follow us there. Send us questions there or to pagingthesimpsons@gmail.com.
You got it.
And so we can, talk directly to you and answer your lovers' quarrels and stuff.
Oh, that'd be so
and I think that's basically it. So I am Lauren. Oh boy, I get to say it first. I am the better half of Paging the Simpsons, but you didn't hear it from me. So that's me, and I am here with my lovely fiance, as he would say.
Yeah, the greater half of page of the Simpsons. Shadiesel. Yeah, I don't think anyone wants you to fart in their ear.
Hey. I did not.
Oh, God.
I'm a lady.
You.
That's something else you'll realize when you're in a long-term relationship.
God. All right. On that note, guys, we'll catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Peace.